We're counting down the top 10 dirt cheap West Virginia farmhouses with actual acreage, all priced under $80,000. Think your cramped city apartment is a smart deal? For what some pay in rent every single year, you could own 3, 10, even 30 acres, plus a barn, a pond, and fresh air. Why keep making your landlord rich when you could have land, space, and ownership for less than $80,000? Each spot in this countdown is ranked by how much land, infrastructure, and value you actually get. And the numbers will mess with your idea of what is possible. Some properties need work, others are nearly turnkey, but each is a reality check on what real estate dollars can buy outside the city grind. Ready for the shock? Let's kick things off with entry number 10, the most attainable, if imperfect, buy on the list. Rolling Pasture Road in Raynell, Greenbrier County, sets the price floor for rural land ownership. $79,000 secures 3 acres, a 1,200 square foot, 2-bedroom farmhouse, a barn, and a pond. The house has vinyl siding and a metal roof, but last year's flood left a roof leak, part of the reason for the low price. Property taxes run $1,040 a year, and you get a well and a septic system already in place. The barn is horse-sized, though the roof sags and the fence needs work. 7 miles to Raynell for groceries and schools, 22 miles to the nearest ER, distance that matters when the closest help is half an hour away. Expect $25,000 to $30,000 in repairs. Patch the roof, update the kitchen, repaint, and mend the fence. DSL is slow, but Starlink is an option. Coffee on the porch, pond glinting, dogs roaming, quiet you can't buy in the city. The trade-off is medium rehab, long drive times, but true ownership under $80,000. Number 9, 297 White Oak Road in Montrose, Randolph County, is the classic bank-owned bait and switch. The sticker price is $79,000 for just over 3 acres, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,350 square feet, and annual property taxes of $1,220. On paper, it sounds like a steal, with brick veneer, a metal roof, a barn with a 2-kilowatt solar array, and a 150-gallon water tank. Even the split-rail fence and the livestock pen are still standing. But here's the catch. This is an REO foreclosure, and the rehab bill is brutal, from $55,000 to $70,000 just to get it livable. Foundation cracks snake along the east wall, the barn roof is toast, and the water tank is rusted through. The septic system was installed without a county permit, and it has been flagged for upgrade by the health department. You are 9 miles from groceries in Huttonsville, and it is a 35-minute drive to the nearest ER in Fairmont. Local crime is low, but the only thing dropping faster than the price is your renovation budget. Picture this: sunlight bouncing off your own solar panels, a barn to fill with goats or gear, and no landlord in sight, quiet mornings, maybe a few chickens, and 3 acres to roam. Now the reality check: hidden legal risks, a foundation that needs a pro, and a septic fix that could wipe out your savings. But compare that to $1,600 a month in city rent. Here, you are buying land and a chance at real ownership, not just a roof and a lease renewal. And we are just getting started. 30 acres for $79,500 at 2110 West Teeter Creek Road in Barber County shifts the scale of what acreage means in this price range. The 4-bedroom, 2-bath farmhouse offers 2,050 square feet, 2 barns, a pond, and a full 10-acre fenced pasture. Taxes run $2,650 a year, higher than some, but the land-to-dollar ratio is unmatched. The house needs paint, new appliances, and a roof check. With a rehab estimate of just $12,000 to $18,000, it is a light lift for this much ground. The well is dry, so a new pump or a cistern is a must, but there is a pond for irrigation, and Starlink internet is already set up. It is 3 miles to Bellington for basics, and Elkin's emergency room is 27 miles away. This is a probate-driven estate sale, which pushes the price per acre down. The lower field sits in a 100-year flood zone, and there is a neighbor's driveway easement, so reading the deed matters. Moderate crime, but the real draw is the land, space for livestock, dogs, and a shot at real equity. 566, Ellison Lane in Nallen, Clay County offers something rare at $75,000. A move-in ready block house on nearly 6 acres. Built in 1990, the home has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and about 1,500 square feet. The property tax is $1,380 per year, less than a month's rent in many cities. With a solid roof, vinyl siding, and an open floor plan, there is no big repair bill waiting. The detached garage is ready for storage or projects, and a half-acre garden plot sits just steps from the back door. Water comes from a well with a working pump, and the septic system was installed recently. There is no barn or pond, but the essentials are covered. The sharp price comes with a story. The house landed on the county's tax sale list in 2022, after the previous owner fell behind. That tax sale status means a discount, but it also means you should check the well paperwork, since the well is not logged in county records, and financing could require extra steps. Internet is slow DSL, but Starlink satellite service is now available. Clarksburg groceries are 8 miles away. The nearest emergency room is 22 miles away. Crime rates are higher than average, mostly property theft, but the house sits off the main road with a recorded easement. For those seeking instant ownership and the lowest rehab costs, this property changes the equation. Number 6, Loudermilk Road in Crawley, Greenbrier County, drops you into the heart of orchard country for just $73,500. Here is what you get: 9 acres. A 3-bedroom, 1-bath farmhouse with 1,450 square feet, plus a barn, a stocked pond, and a 2-acre orchard already fenced and waiting. Annual property taxes are $1,610, and that is less than most city renters pay in a single month. The barn is about 1,200 square feet, sturdy enough for goats, gear, or the hobby farm of your dreams. The orchard, verified at 2 acres, means apples, peaches, or even a side business selling farm stand pies. The septic system was replaced in 2015, so you are not inheriting a ticking time bomb underground. Internet is not a deal breaker here. DSL offers up to 25 megabits per second, and Starlink is active for remote work. Lewisburg groceries and schools are a 15-mile drive. The nearest emergency room is 28 miles away, so you will want to keep your first aid kit stocked. The house is a light fixer-up, and between $12,000 and $18,000 will cover roof repairs, fresh paint, and a kitchen appliance upgrade. Picture this: spring mornings with coffee under the orchard trees, a barn full of tools or chickens, and a pond reflecting the mountain sky. Your land, your rules, no landlord, no lease, just acres of possibility. Here is the reality check. You will trade convenience for space. Town is about 20 minutes away and the hospital is even farther. Run the numbers. $73,500 all in means your monthly payment, taxes, and insurance land around $787. That is a 37% drop from the average city rent. You are not just paying for a roof, you are buying freedom, food security, and a shot at passive income from your own little orchard, and we are just getting started. Abbeywood Lane in Nettie, Nicholas County offers 26 acres of rolling ground for $77,000, a rare find for anyone serious about self-sufficiency. The property centers on a 2-bedroom, 1-bath farmhouse with 1,100 square feet, surrounded by a barn, tool shed, chicken coop, and a creek-fed pond. 6 acres are already fenced for livestock, and the infrastructure is refreshingly modern, with a well pump from 2019 and a septic tank installed in 2020. Annual property taxes come in at $2,340, keeping ongoing costs manageable. A 2022 mine subsidence inspection cleared the land, but a mineral rights clause covers 12 southern acres, meaning the coal beneath is not yours, though there is no active mining. That caveat helps explain the low price for so much land. Groceries and schools are 12 miles away in Summersville, with the nearest emergency room a 35-mile drive. Crime rates are low, but internet access is limited to satellite or Starlink. Monthly costs, including mortgage, taxes, and utilities, stay well below typical city rent. The setup supports long-term food security, chickens, a garden, a pond for fishing, and pasture for goats or cows. The house needs $15,000 to $20,000 in cosmetic updates, but the essentials are solid. For those willing to trade convenience for acreage, Abbeywood Lane is a practical homesteader's launchpad. Pioneer Hollow Farmhouse in Glenville, Gilmer County puts a real affordable roof over your head for $74,900. This is not just land or a barn, it is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house with 1,350 square feet, set on 8 acres along a quiet creek. The property includes a classic barn, a spring-fed well that has passed its latest water test, and a working septic system. Annual property taxes sit at $1,280, keeping monthly costs manageable. The house itself is sturdy but needs a medium rehab. Expect to budget $18,000 to $25,000 for essentials like roof repairs, new floors, and kitchen updates. Still, the structure is sound and the essentials are in place. 5 miles from Glenville's groceries and schools, the farmhouse offers small-town seclusion without total isolation. The nearest emergency room is 25 miles away, so self-reliance matters here. Broadband is possible, DSL is slow, but Starlink opens up streaming and remote work. The barn is ready for livestock or storage, and the land is usable, not just decorative. Gilmer County's median income is about $42,000, grounding the area in working-class reality rather than vacation fantasy. Morning coffee comes with creek sounds and sunlight on your own porch. The trade-off is fewer conveniences, but acres to roam and no landlord. That is freedom for many. Mortgage, taxes, and insurance still total less than most city rents. Coming to the top 3, Spring Creek Homestead in Hinton, Summers County lands a knockout punch for anyone tired of city rent. Here's the headline: $78,000 buys you 8 acres, a 3-bedroom, 1.5-bathroom farmhouse with 1,400 square feet, a barn, a spring-fed well, and a detached garage. Property taxes are just $1,500 a year. That is less than a single month of rent in half the country's big cities. The land rolls down to a river bend, so you get a view worth framing if you do not mind the occasional flood insurance bill. The barn is sturdy, the garage is ready for projects, and the well keeps running even in August. You are 6 miles from town for groceries and 24 miles to the nearest emergency room, so yes, self-reliance is part of the deal. This is a medium rehab. Budget $20,000 to $28,000 for roof patches, new flooring, and a kitchen that does not look like a 1970s time capsule. County assessor records confirm the acreage, and the floodplain status is no secret. The FEMA map puts the lower field in a buy insurance or roll the dice zone. Internet is not a joke here. Broadband is available, and Starlink is only a 2-week wait, so remote work is not a pipe dream. Picture this: coffee on the porch, river mist rising, your own barn for projects, and enough land for goats or a massive garden. Crickets, not sirens. No landlord, no shared walls, just space to breathe and freedom. Reality check: you will need flood insurance, a solid contractor, and a tolerance for muddy boots. Hospital runs take half an hour, and you are the snowplow in winter. But run the numbers. Mortgage, taxes, insurance, and repairs still beat most city rents by a mile. Here, you are not just buying a house, you are buying freedom, and we are just getting started. Number 22340, George Washington Highway in Mineral County, is where the fantasy of rural escape meets actual 21st century connectivity. For $79,000, you get a single-story farmhouse on 5 acres, verified by county assessor records, but always double-check the parcel before you wire a deposit. The house is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath layout with about 1,300 square feet. It is not just a shell. There is a detached garage, a working well, a septic system, and this is the kicker: 100 megabits per second cable internet at your door, which in a state where most farmhouses are still stuck on DSL or satellite is like finding a unicorn in the hayloft. Annual property taxes come in around $1,200, so your monthly math stays sane. The garage is big enough for a workshop or gear storage, and the well and septic mean you are not paying city utilities. Location-wise, you are 8 miles to Kaiser for groceries and hardware, and 18 miles to the nearest ER, close by rural standards. The house itself is a light fixer. budget $15,000 to $22,000 for new paint, a roof patch, and maybe some kitchen updates. Picture this: streaming movies in the evening, video calls that do not freeze, dogs running the back pasture while you work remote in total quiet. 5 acres, no landlord, and your own driveway, plus a garage for the truck or side hustle. Freedom in a small, affordable package. Here is the reality check. You are still half an hour from a hospital, and isolation means you shovel your own road in winter. But compare this to city rent. $79,000 buys you land, a house, and fast internet for less than most people pay in a year to rent a 1-bedroom. And the flagship deal is still ahead. And finally, in first place, here is the farmhouse that flips the script on everything you thought you knew about rural real estate. $79,900, 13.36 acres, 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and a sprawling 1,800 square feet of pure, unfiltered West Virginia freedom. Annual property taxes are $1,940. That is less than what some city renters fork over in a single month. But this is not just about square footage and sticker shock. This is the only property on the list with a 3-kilowatt solar array, 2 barns, a half-acre pond, and a fenced pasture of 5 acres, all within 5 miles of Bridgeport, a city with real grocery stores, schools, and yes, high-speed cable internet. Infrastructure here is not an afterthought. The solar system was permitted and installed in 2021, and the current owner has the receipts to prove it. The septic tank was serviced in 2022, and a chunk of the lower field sits on a brand new flood mitigation berm, $8,000 invested after the 2023 river surge. That is the kind of expense most sellers hide, but here it is front and center. The barns are both over 1,000 square feet, ready for livestock, gear, or your inevitable side hustle. The well is deep, the pump works, and the pond is begging for a couple of kayaks or a dock. Now, let us talk renovation honesty. This is not a move right in fantasy. The flat roof needs waterproofing, the kitchen is stuck in the 1970s, and the interior drywall shows water stains from last year's flood. Expect $30,000 to $45,000 for a medium rehab, covering the roof, kitchen, some new flooring, and a septic check. But the math works. Even after repairs, you are all in for under $125,000, still less than 3 years of rent on a 2-bedroom apartment in most cities. Picture this: morning coffee on your own porch, solar panels humming, dogs chasing each other across 13 acres, and not a landlord in sight. Your barn, your rules. Starlink or cable internet for remote work, a pond for lazy Sundays, and enough land to actually breathe. Here is the reality check. The nearest emergency room is 22 miles out. You will be driving for groceries, and the isolation is real, especially when the snow hits or you need a contractor. But you are trading rent for real ownership, and every dollar you put in goes toward your own equity, not someone else's mortgage. This one changes the math completely. The combination of acreage, solar, barns, cable internet, and manageable rehab costs is unmatched anywhere under $80,000. Freedom, space, and a shot at long-term wealth, all for the price of a year's rent in the city. If you ever wanted to break out of the rent trap, this is the deal that makes it possible. Across all 10 of these shockingly cheap West Virginia farmhouses, one truth jumps out. For under $80,000, you are not just buying a house, you are buying space, privacy, and the option to build wealth instead of burning cash on rent. The catch is this: freedom comes with distance and a few fixer-upper weekends. But in a world obsessed with square footage and monthly payments, sometimes the real luxury is silence. Drop your thoughts below.